So before break, we look at general competitive performance steps by design engineer. Next, we look at what is engineering characteristic. So why is so important? We need to determine the engineering characteristics. This is the process where you transfer or you translate the customer requirement into the language of engineering design parameter. Okay. So I'll give you an example. The basketball robot, basket robot, blah blah blah. You can read here, but they come up with the engineering characteristics where they need to come up with some parameter that justify what the customer want. All this you can read, quite lengthy, but basically I'll give you an example of all the parameter they need to look into. For example, the catch area, average ball return, length change time, time to install system, and so on. Okay, material, weather resistant. So these are the parameters they can control in their design. Okay, so same with your case. In your go-kart design, there are some engineering parameter that you can control. You can control the maximum weight. You can control the time installed. This one during next semester. You can control the material that you choose for a particular area. Right? The mechanism of all this. But that one, detailed design next semester. But here you should look at some of the things that might help you when it comes to detailed design later on. So these are the engineering characteristics for the robot, basketball robot. So you try to modify a little bit, take the principle that you learn, switch it over to a go-kart project. Okay, one thing you can do here is that you discuss among your team. You can fix the size, the range of the size of the go-kart chassis that you want. All right. What's the length between the front wheel and the back wheel? You can decide the length. Once you have the engineering characteristics, we'll go into another big section called DFQ. Oh, sorry, I think I've put the wrong one. It should be QFD. Wrong typo. Because it's a quality function deployment. Wrong sequence. So what does the QFD do? QFD is systematic planning tools that help you to come up with the design. Right? This is the one that we expect from you to produce one of QFD in your final report. Okay, you have 15 design, right? So there should be one table to tell the story why in your design you design in such a way, right? Especially your final design. So I give you one the thinking pathway. So this is a complete QFD process proposed by S. Park here in a total design chapter 3 edition. So you will see that the QFD actually is a planning tools, and this one is look like a diagram. So what does this diagram do is look like a house. House number 1, house number 2, house number 3, house number 4. It's like a building. Building 1, building 2, building 3, building 4. So they have 4 main process here. First process is more on the engineering characteristic or EC and the customer requirement. You are at here. Okay, you're at this house now. Okay, later we'll look at this house. Then after you have done this product planning stage, you go to part deployment. This one you done in Capstone Design 2. Capstone Design 2, you do part deployment. You look at part characteristic. You look at engineering characteristics. Next, after you done the analysis for part deployment, you go for process planning. You look at the manufacturing process requirement and the parts characteristics. Okay, you do the process planning. After that, you go for production planning, which is the fabrication part, production requirement, and the manufacturing requirement. So you have 4 process here: product planning, part deployment, process planning, and production planning. Capstone Design 1, you are here. Okay, so in your report, we expect you build a house, QFD house in your report, or we call it house of quality. QFD, also known as a voice of a consumer. You are transferring the voice of customer into your design process. All right. So you should show the evidence that you know what is QFD. All right. You can learn about all this QFD in many books. There are specific book for quality function deployment or QFD. In fact, you learn this one in one of the design module that you haven't taken. So that's why I need to catch up with all this information for your Capstone Design 1. So let's look at house of quantity configuration. I give you all the important point. So during the house of quality configuration, when you build the house of quality, you will see 8 rooms inside the building. Will look like this, right? So I will enlarge this one. You can download from my slides later. You have all these 8 rooms in your design process. First, I mean, inside this house, the center area or your lobby will be the relationship matrix. You need to build the relationship matrix from here. That it tell you what related to what. It tell you what related to how. So on the left hand side of the house, you have room number 1 that you look at customer requirement. This is what the customer want. What is the customer want? And how you get this component? You get from the online survey. So again, design carefully your Google survey question. Right. All right. So this is number 1. Room 1. Okay. I think we'll go room by room. So, okay, this one you can see. So at the center, this is the most important parts that you want to design. Okay. So this room relate your engine characteristics and customer requirement. So we're going to build the house of quality here. So I give you the template for the house of quality. You're going to build the relationship of matrix room number 4, step by steps. Okay. So here you have 4 rooms. Excuse me. Room 1, customer requirement. Room 2, engine characteristic is like a table, right? It's like a table. So on the left, you have some requirement. On the top, you have some information. Room number 4, you just put in label, the symbols to link these two together. Okay. Then below there, you have room number 5. It's more on the importance of the parameter. We have 3 types of key area you want to look at: absolute importance, relative importance, and rank order. I'll give you a sample later. So house of quantity is the one that you look at the relationship between customer requirement. This one again you get from online survey. This one is the engine characteristics, the one that the features of your go-kart. Then this is your analysis data here. You see this one as Excel file. It's like a table. On the left, you have something. On the top, you have something. Then you link the two with some symbol in the middle. Okay, room number 1, customer requirement. So we already talked about customer requirement. Okay. So this one you gather from the online survey or the information that you can gather. All right. So what you do here is that you label the ranking from 1 to 5. Right. Later I'll give you one sample. You will relate all this information together. Right. So for room number 1, you list all the information about customer requirement, and then there's one column here that you can label what is the most important one, 1, 2, 3, 4 until 5. So how you label here, let's say you have 10 customer requirement, you label which one is the most important one with number 5. Least important one is 1. So you label 1 to 5 here. Okay, this is step number 1. You go to room 1, you build the customer requirement from the online survey. Then you do analysis, right? Let's say you have 20 question. 20 question, maybe you only focus on 10 criteria, 10 customer requirement. So then you pick from the online survey 20 question, you build a chart analysis, you extract all these questions, drop into 10 category of customer requirement. You, based on the chart that you see, which one is more important, which one is not important. You give a number there over here. Okay. After that, you go to room number 2, which is your engine characteristics. So this one is the features that you want to build in your go-kart. Okay. You try to relate the customer requirement and the engineering parameter that you want to build in your go-kart. Okay. The rest you can read. Number 2 here, I highlight the most important one. Number here, room number 2 is answer what I can control that allow me to meet my customer needs, which is more on in engineering term. Okay, including weight, force, velocity, power consumption, the length, and so on. This is what you can control in your design, engineering criteria or engine characteristics. Okay, this is the one that you can see during your literature review. You can look at the industry model 1, 2, 3. Inside there, they give you the spec, the length, the weight, the cost, okay, the velocity, the weight, and so on. Then you relate to customer requirement. So you can even you design the question in your questionnaire from the industrial benchmarking, with is your model 1, 2, 3, company 1, 2, 3, the specification you convert into questionnaire. Go and ask what customer want. Okay. Okay, so all this you read now. So in 2 also, then number 2, you give a symbol. Number 2 here, after you have the requirement, then each engineering characteristic, for example, weight, you have the unit for the weight, right? What is the unit for weight? Newton. What is the length of the chassis? Meter, and so on. Then on here, improvement direction. Improvement direction, you give a direction up and down. Up means that it need improvement. Down means okay, this one is indicates that the higher value of EC is better. So means if the weight need to improve, then you put in go up symbol. If the length need longer, then you put up symbol. Or if the length need shorter, then you give lower arrow. And take note, it is possible that improvement direction can be no direction. Not necessary you must put up and down. If you put a blank for that particular parameter, it means there is no improvement need at the moment. Okay, take note on this one because you need to produce the same thing for your report. Room number 4 is you link the relationship from the left and the top. I hope you can see imagine this one as an Excel or a chart. So this one you have all the lines for the customer requirement. You have all the lines come down like weight, length, and so on. So this one will be the grid. Over here you see the grid for the room number 4. So room number 4, you use a loss of symbol to represent. Okay, you use numbers, or you can use symbol to represent the relationship. Okay, there are some calculation for that. There are some calculation for room number 4. Okay, so here you see a loss of symbol. All right, so there are some meaning. You can use numbers. 9 means strong, 3 means medium, 1 means weak, or you can use symbol or this here. I recommend you use numbers. All right, I recommend for our projects, for your report, you use numbers. Then the rest you read. There are some steps here. Okay, you can read. Then we go to room number 5. After you fill in the information here, you go to number 5. You do calculation for 1, 2, 3. You calculate for importance rating, which means you decide which is the EC is critical important to meet the customer requirement. So there are some description here, all right, on how to do the calculation. For example, absolute important, this column, right? What you do, you multiply the numerical value in each of the cell of the relationship matrix by associate the customer requirement important rating. So what you do, inside here you have one, so you have a relationship matrix here. Let's say you have 9. Here, customer requirement, let's say is 1, because here number you only play with 1 to 5, right? Here. So let's say you have 1 here, you have 9 here. The numbers that you get here is number 9. 1 multiplied by 9, you get 9. Okay. Then you sum the results of each column. So you have a lot of column here, you sum over here, you get one number. Okay. Then you continue to do calculation. Next, you calculate the relative importance. how to do important, you express them in percentage. Okay, this is relative. The third one is rank order. You also can read now. Rank order means 1, 2, 3, 4 until the last one. You rank them based on percentage in relative, based on here. I give you the end results. So the rest you can read. The rest you can read. There are lots of scenario that you might see over here. There are some scenario. First, you might have totally empty row. Maybe there's no numbers for that particular customer requirement. Or empty column. There's no symbol or no numbers for characteristics, and so on. You read this one on my slides. This one also. So one important part is that this one will take you one whole day. This alone will take you one whole day to come up with the correct house of quality. Please spare some time with your group member. Right? Discuss properly the time management. This will take at least 2 to 3 hours just to calculate this one. Okay, so if one or more patterns are present in room 4, the customer requirement and engine characteristic you need to review and change accordingly. This is the solution. If you have more than one pattern exists over here. I give you the final results, what is expected here. This is an example of the throwing basketball robots. So as you can see here, this is room 1. Okay, this is room 1. Let's put it side by side. So this is room 1. So you can see the example. This is room 1. Okay, room 1 is all the customer requirement. This is what you get from your online survey. So waterproof and so on. Then you give the importance weightage 1 to 5. If they least important, 1. Most important, 5. So you label 4 to 5. Any question on room 1? Any question? Room 1? Is it clear for everyone? Ask me question or I'm going to ask question. I'm going to call someone to explain this one. If you don't understand, ask me now. Check the attendance. Okay. Givanes is just locked out. I'm not sure what happened to him. Okay, Givanesh, are you here?
Yes, my connection is bad, so I went out and came in again.
All right, I saw your login and lockout. Okay. Can you explain how you get room 1 information?
Yes, the connection is bad, so I couldn't get it.
Pravin Muti, are you there? Pravin Muti, please respond. Let me send a message to Pravin Muti. Pravin Muti, please respond. Calling Pravin Muti.
Sir. Sir, I just went washroom, sir. Yes, sir.
Explain how you get room 1 information. How you get room 1 information. Explain. Pravin Muti, explain what do you understand about customer requirement?
So, customer requirement is like what they need for their what we call that, for their needs, sir. So we have to make it more technically to.
So in your case, how you get the customer requirement? In your GoCup project, how you get the customer requirement?
So, in our GoCup project, we can clarify our customer problem from analysis, right? So from our Google analysis.
What Google analysis?
I mean the one we did in the question, so we can know what's their improvement from there, right?
Okay. You're using online survey form, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. Good. All right. So yeah, basically this one is from your survey form, right? So once you get your customer requirement, you have 1 to 10 or 1 to 7, 1 to 8. Then after that, you label the importance of all these customer requirement. From 20 question, 25 question, basic inside there, you actually, there are some hidden customer requirement in the question, right? So from there, when you do analysis, you will see the peak of the graph, what is the peak, what is the lowest, right? So you put the numbers from 1 to 5. Okay, 1 to 5. 4 means okay, 5 means most important, and so on. Okay. 5 most important, 1 is least important. This room 1 is from your online survey. So again, reminder, your online survey, make sure you get the data before, after you come back from Chinese New Year break. At least 100 respondent. Then only you can build this. Only you can build this house of quantity. If not, you cannot submit your report. Okay, and we have to hold your results for next semester.
Okay, sir.
All right. So
do you mind if I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
In regards to the house of quality. Right. So for the house of quality, the room 2 customer requirement, we need at least 10 from the survey. And for engineering characteristics, is basically from what we think is the best characteristics that we can have for go-kart.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So what is your question?
Sorry. So we put this underneath the conceptual design while discussing alongside the calculations?
Yes, correct. Calculation is calculation. Okay. Calculation is separate thing.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah. Okay. So engineering characteristic here is you can say as the specification that you see in the brochure. For example, for example, the weight. You can see weight in the go-kart specification. You can see the length of the go-kart, the torque, the power of the go-kart, all right? The horsepower of the go-kart, the speed of the go-kart, and so on. So this one is a specification, and then you put in the unit. You are engineering student. You know that once you have the unit, what does it mean? It means something that you can measure, something that you can design, something that you can control. Right? For example, weight in kilogram is something that you can measure, you can see, you can measure, right? So this is the criteria. So customer requirement in your report or in your project, you should have at least 7 to 8 customer requirement, right? Then engineering characteristic here, at least you should have you have 3 members, right? So at least you have 1 member, you should have 3. So maybe you have 9 engineering characteristic. So each one of you focus on 3 parameter, right? Then the work will be more easier for the group already. Okay, so room 1 we clear, room 2 we also clear. Room 2 basically is all the specification, right? So you look at here, room 2 is all the, and then the unit is you convert the engineering parameter into unit. For example, weight is in kilogram, but you know, like engineering, when we use weight is Newton, so it should be mass, not weight. Okay, so mass, how many kilogram? You can use mass rather than weight, right? Then what are about the arrow? Why is there some blank? Blank means there is no more. For example, sensing position of the shooter, there's no need to be improved or what. For example, weight why the arrow pointing down means that there's a possibility you can improve, cut down the weight of the machine. Okay, any question on the room 1 and room 2? Okay, then we go for room 4 here. Now what is all these numbers? Why they are 3, 9 and so on? They are the relationship between 1 and 2. So you label 391. You use 391 to, so that you have a drastic gauge. 9 is very strong, or 10 is very strong. 1 is very weak. So that's why you see here, over here, you see 9. What I mean by 9? I mean, maybe I take this one. Why 9? What is this 9 mean? It means the relationship between this lane span and accurate or ball return is very important. This one and this one is very important. That's why 9 there. If it's not related, means blank there. Why 1? There's 1 there. Why this one 1? It means that this one, 2 less installation and the material rigidity is not important. Okay, it's weak. The relationship.
So I have a question, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
So just now the toolless installation and material rigidity, right? Okay, they put 1 there, right? But can I say like not related as a leave it blank?
You can put it blank if you think it's not relevant. This is based on what you think. There's no right or wrong answer here, but you should able to explain.
Oh, okay, sir.
So when I ask you, why this one blank, then you should explain, Why the specification doesn't link with the customer requirement? Then you should explain. Okay, so meaning those with numbers one will become your focus area already. Okay, they should have some numbers for one of the element here and one of the element here. If totally blank, let's say all these have numbers lah. So try to avoid no numbers. No numbers means you not even need to mention it in the table here because no relationship and not important. Okay, then once again this one is based on your group discussion. You decide and then you should able to explain why it's linked. So let's say the first row here. Why is all this blank? Because the designer think that this one until here, all this doesn't link with the waterproof. And waterproof is important for material rigidity, material and water resistance. So waterproof is related to material that you choose and also important for weather resistant. Number 9. Okay. Then we go for the raw score. Okay, a raw score. How do you get the raw score here? Okay, how do you get 9698? How you get 698? What is the maximum mark you have over here in each of the cell here? What is the maximum mark? Let's say your maximum mark is 9. Minimum mark is 1. You assume all this is 9. 9 plus 4 plus 9 plus 4 plus 9 plus 4 plus 9 plus 4 plus 9 plus 4 and so on. Okay, meaning all this multiply by this one, 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 all these numbers means maximum numbers. You calculate 1, 2, 3, 4 and you get one number. This is the total raw score. Meaning if all this score 9 marks. 9. So 9 plus 4. You add now. So here you have how many? 4, 10. This is 10, 20, 30, 36. So 36, let me calculate now. 36 divided by 698 divided by 36, about 19. Okay, about 19. So this one about 19. So I suspect, okay, here 1, 4, 3, 4, 9, 4. You get that one number. 3, 4, 9, 4, 9, 4, 9, 4, 9 multiplied by 4. 3 multiplied by 4, you get one number. Then go to this column. 3 multiplied by 2, 3 multiplied by 2, 9 multiplied by 2, 1 multiplied by 1, 1 multiplied by 2, you get one number here. You do the same for this row, this row, this row, this row. You add all the numbers, you get 698. Okay. Then you do the same for this one, same also. Okay. Or later you can use Excel. You just calculate row by row lah. So all these numbers you add together, this row, you get 698. Okay, how you get, for example, how you get 131? 131, 4 multiplied by 3, 2 multiplied by 3, 4 multiplied by 1, 3 multiplied by 9, 4 multiplied by 1, 5 multiplied by 3, 5 multiplied by 9, 2 multiplied by 9, you add the numbers, you get 313. How you get 72? 9 multiplied by 4, 36. 9 multiplied by 4, 36. 36, 36, 72. How you get 48? 3 multiplied by 4, 12. 9 multiplied by 4, 36. Plus together, you get 48. I hope you see the logic here. After that, you calculate the percentage. Percentage, how you get, let's say how you get 10.3. 72 divided by 698. Let me calculate that. 72 divided by 698. Yeah, it's about 10.31 something. Okay, so you get the percentage. So this one is a percentage of total score here. 72 divided by 698 multiplied by 100%, you get 1 percentage. You get all the percentage. Then you rank order. Rank based on percentage here. For example, the highest one is 18.8, rank number 1. The highest percentage 15.5, rank number 2. The third one is here, 10.3. Fourth one, less than 0.3 is 9 here. And then you arrange until the last one. This is the house of quality that you should have. So from this table, what is the most important quantity, important area that you should focus on is the cache area. You should be aware of the cache area. Okay, then this is just to tell you what is the sequence of design or what should you focus on. If you do not meet number 1, it's going to affect the efficiency of the machine or the way the machine works. Okay. All right. So I also give you the templates for product design specification. This one I have uploaded one document for reading. Especially I label the document as a product design specification reading. There's I think 4 pages of reading. You have see this table, there's a question there, what to need to fill in. Product ident, market ident, key deadlines, physical description. So you can relate this information into the go-kart project that you're going to do. For, financial requirement, life cycle target, and so on. Okay. Then this one is the sample for the robot, basketball robot, the product ident, market ident, and so on. Okay. Side by side, the sample. Okay. So I guess I give you some ideas what you should write for your report. All right. Okay, let me end the recording.